Us on the broadcast is also Professor Sangeet Ragi, Mr. Atikur Rahman, who's an Islamic scholar. Good evening to both of you gentlemen. Thank you so much for joining us. Mr. Atikur Rahman, first to you. These are details which are emerging from highly placed sources within the Minority Affairs Ministry. The argument is that this is a nexus under which the money was not going to the beneficiaries intended, but a fraud nexus of somehow stealing the government money was going on. Certain institutions are responsible for it. About 80% of these scholarships were given to the Muslim minority or the students who were trying to approach the government and trying to get the scholarships. How do you see these details emerging out? In your understanding, what is the picture that emerges?
Anusha, this is not new for me at least. I know all madrasa officials. They take all the benefits from the government institutions, but they never reach the children and the real beneficiaries. Corruption and alarming, misappropriation of the funds is the order of the day. It should be streamlined. No, but who is Anusha right now is talking of corruption? A BJP party in power, which is since 10 years in power, and right now after so many years they are coming out of it. And these party, people who are buying the other party legislature, they're making them finance ministers. Ajit Pawar, who has been labeled misappropriation of mass funds, he is the finance minister of Maharashtra state, which CBI will be inquiring into this. So, which people the ruling party is fooling around with? We know there are misappropriation of the funds in all schools, in all colleges, in all. The RBI
thing. You are right. You're right that this is the unfortunate reality in our country, and hopefully the direct benefit transfer scheme is going to plug these holes in the coming times. That the money intended for welfare purposes does not reach the children or the people it is intended to reach. That's point number one. I'm very happy that leading people like you, scholars like you, are directly addressing the problem that there is a large-scale corruption that happens in madrasas. Now, what separates the so-called tolerable, usual corruption that happens in educational institution and this particular cases that have come out is, A, this has happened for decades. B, there are certain cases in which the institution does not exist and the money has been going on for years and years. So this looks to be far more organized and it directly affects the interests of minorities in our country.
Exactly, Anusha. That's why I said, now who are the people responsible for this? Who is the releasing authority of these funds? Of course, the government officials are releasing the funds. Right. Don't they know that the rightful beneficiaries are not? They are suffering. The children are suffering. And are there no schools, Anusha? Of course, madrasas. The BJP has a phobia related to Muslims. That's why they are pinpointing. Are there no ghost schools? Are there no ghost teachers and professors in UP schools and Bihar universities? There are. What I am pointing to it is the BJP has lost all the moral grounds to talk on corruption after they buy the MLAs.
Before I lay down some more, facts here and some more, points of the investigation that we have, these are multiple details which are emerging. I do want to take in a quick word from Professor Sangeet Ragi. Professor Ragi, do you buy this argument from Professor Atikur Rahman that there is no moral authority that the present government has to raise these issues? I believe it's an issue of corruption. It does not matter whether it's the majority institution or the minority institution. You have to take action if there is some kind of nexus of this nature, a corruption scandal that has gone on for decades.
Look, it is not about what BJP does or what other political parties have done. The important point is that there is a corruption in madrasa education system. Number two, the minorities, the data shows and it has confirmed that the minorities in India does mean the Muslims.
Yes.
Number three, the dropout rates in madrasas are not because of the scarcity of funds, but because of malappropriation of funds who are in charge of running the madrasas.
Yeah.
So, important point is that those who were also accusing the BJP government, now they should appreciate that how they could be detected. This corruption could be detected only because there is a system of direct transfer of the benefits to the real beneficiary. If the this mechanism would haven't been put in place, this would not have been unearthed at all. So I think that Atikur Rahman, what Atikur Rahman is saying, that why you are targeting Muslim, it is not about targeting Muslim. It is all about imparting quality education to the Muslims. And this is not possible until and unless the funds reach the beneficiary. You are saying that
And
while
sir,
unearthing
Professor
such
Ragi,
kind
to
of
add to the
that
point that you were making, if 40 lakh scholarships have been stopped by a particular ministry, there should have been a huge uproar from the minority communities that why is the money not reaching us? And it's an interesting point that you make when you were talking about the fact that the moment money reaches the bank account, students drop out. This is a trend which has been observed in certain grades and classes, that a student drops out right after he or she has received the money from the government.
Look, I think that this shows that there is somewhere there is a mafia, there are big fishes, there is a good network which is appropriating the money, and the real benefit is not going to the imparted to the students who really deserve it. So I think that I would request the minister and I would appeal the ministry to go for a commission of inquiry into it, or the CBI inquiry into it. There should be a detailed inquiry into it, so that those people who are responsible for this kind of a fraud or the scam should be put behind bar.
An inquiry,
I'm pretty sure that large number of the Muslim, and I'm pretty sure large number of the officials in the bureaucracy and the Muslim leadership would be involved in it. They are part of it. Otherwise, until and unless this kind of the nexus is built over the years and the decades, such thing is not possible to happen at all.
I agree with you.
This is my
I agree with you, sir.
Second,
I want you, sir, to stay with us on the broadcast.
Atikur Rahman, Atikur Rahman, you are entitled to raise the issue that there are corruption in other institutions also. So those corruptions are also getting flashed in the public domain. They are in public domain.
No, sir, you're right, and I don't think this argument. I don't think this argument holds that just because there's a corruption scandal, it involves the minority community, so this is some kind of targeting. If the argument holds merit, it holds merit. It does not matter whether it's about the majority or the minority.